Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. And if you aren't new here and you've been here for a while, please make sure that notification bell switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I have another palette review for you from the brand Makeup Obsession, and very recently they launched a few palettes as part of their Christmas range. I want to assume because they are in the Christmas section, so I think these are their like holidays eyeshadow palettes. I've bought all three of the ones that Makeup Obsession have come out with so far, so I think I've bought every Makeup Obsession Christmas related thing so far, which is insane. I don't know where my money is coming from because my bank account is crying right now. So today we are going to be reviewing the Honey Lust eyeshadow palette. This retails for £12, so it's super affordable, which really like made me question why this is so cheap. Like the normal palettes, like the square palettes with like the £12, or I can't remember how many pounds are in there, but they're £10 and this is 12, and it's absolutely huge. I mean, I'm not complaining because it is super affordable, but yeah, this is like 12 and the normal ones are 10, so I don't really know where the pricing come from, but yeah, as I said, I'm not complaining. It's super cheap, super affordable, and this has 35 shades in here. 35, like that is insane. And I'm just looking at the back, and there's only maybe like a handful of pressed pigments in here, and this is also cruelty-free and vegan, which is amazing. I love the packaging of all their Christmas stuff. It's like a feathery, like soft, not feathery, that's not feathers, like a faux like fur kind of picture with the name in like neon lights kind of thing. I absolutely love it, and I love the colour of the box. Obviously it's pink. The packaging for the actual palette is exactly the same than what it is on the box, and I think we should just get this open. So this is what the palette looks like, and yes, you are right, there is a mirror in here as well, which is amazing. And this is what the palette looks like. It is super like neutral, but has pops of colour in here as well. Also, like there's some purple, some green shimmers in here. It is mostly a neutral palette, which I feel like a lot of people are gonna like. Obviously more people reach for a neutral palette over a colourful palette on a day-to-day basis, so I feel like more people could definitely get a lot of use out of this. And I just can't believe how big that mirror is as well. Like, how is this only £12? Like, that is super affordable considering you're getting 35 shades and a huge mirror. Like, you don't even get a mirror in the smaller palettes. So yeah, I was very happy with the price point of this palette, and I just think the shades in here are absolutely gorgeous. Definitely has a couple of the honey shades in here, like these golds, like these yellow neutrals, so I definitely feel like it plays on to the name of the palette, apart from obviously maybe these two bottom rows where there is more of a pop of colour. But saying that, there's 35 shades to play with. I cannot wait to see if this is any good, because I love the Makeup Obsession formula. So I think we should get on with the swatches. These are the first two rows swatched, and how gorgeous are these shades. I absolutely love them. They're really quite pigmented as well, which I'm really impressed with. And yeah, I'm just loving the colour story so far. These are the next two rows, and how gorgeous are these. Like, look at that bronzy foil. Like, you can tell that from a mile off that that is a foil. It's just so metallic and gorgeous. I love the shades in this palette. I just feel like the last three are just a bit random. Maybe when I swatch the last palette they'll fit in a little bit better, but yeah, I just feel like they should have stuck to the more like neutrally browny theme. This is the last row, and I mean the shimmers here are really impressive, and I love that reddy orange shade. Again, I just feel like the greens and the darker shades are a little bit mismatched in this palette. However, the colours are stunning, but whether or not I'll use them is like a different question. Obviously, it being a honey palette, I have to do obviously a really nice warm toned neutral look. So that is what we're gonna do. So firstly, I'm going to start off with this neutral. Yeah, this one right here. It's a shame there's no names in the palette. I feel like that would have completely like topped off this palette if it had names in here. The pans are a little bit kickbacky, but they are pigmented. on the brush. It's very kickbacky, however I like the pigment on my eyes right now. I think it's really, really nice. To blend out that shade, I am going to take this kind of like peachy nude, I want to say. It's very light, so I'm hoping it will work well to blend this out. And we're just gonna, yeah, blend out the crease shade with it. Again, very kickbacky in the pan, but seems to be really nicely pigmented. Okay, so this is the crease shade all blended out. I think those shades work really well together and they are really seamless. So I'm liking it so far. I think I'm gonna deepen up the crease and I'm gonna use this terracotta shade here. It's absolutely stunning. I'm in love with the tones in this palette. They are beautiful. So next I'm going to take the yellow in the palette. I feel like I obviously have to use that shade, and I'm going to use that to blend out the shade that I just put down. To deepen up the inner and outer corner, I'm going to use this brown shade right here. So before I do like my lower lash line, I'm going to take this gold shimmer here. I feel like I have to, like it just screams honey, doesn't it really? And I'm going to put this in the middle of my lid. This gold is extremely hard to work with. It's very hardly pressed. So it's just like it doesn't want to pick up enough product. Like, can you see that I've got some down, but it's just not pigmented like I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to grab a spray and see if that works to bring out some more of the pigment. Okay, so with that shade, I literally had to scrape layers onto my brush, then wet it, and then that's when I got the most decent pigment from it. It's definitely not my favourite. Makeup Obsession have done way better shimmers in the past. Maybe some of the shimmers in this palette are better than others. You can obviously definitely tell which ones are normal shimmers and which ones are foils. The foils are going to work 10 times better on your lids because they're just like almost like a wet formula, whereas this normal shimmer is more like I don't know, it's just more drying. Like, can you tell the difference between those two shades? This one is the foil and this one is the shimmer. It's not as good as the foil formula. It does work if you put in a bit of effort, but it's just definitely not my favourite shade from the palette, just because it was a little bit hard to work with. It just seems like it's very hardly pressed. So let's move on to the lower lash line, where I am going to take this deep red here. I have a feeling this is going to be very pigmented. And then to blend some of that out, I'm going to take the orange in the palette, which is this one. And yeah, I'm just going to see if I can blend out the edges. Okay, and this is the lower lash line done. I don't know if I went a bit too bold. Like, does that go? I'm not really too sure. You'll have to let me know. So for the inner corners and brow bone, I'm going to take this beautiful icy but gold reflect shade, and I'm hoping it's going to be really pigmented. Why do I find everything funny recently? Yep, that shade is absolutely beautiful, perfect for inner corners and brow bone. This is my completed look using the Makeup Obsession Honey Lust palette. I'm going to hop off camera, do my lashes and mascara, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Right guys, so I'm back and this is my completed look. So for my lashes, I have my favourite pair on by Lit Lash. I don't know where the box has gone. This is the style Baby Doll. My favourite lashes are by Lit Lash. You can use the code ALIX10 for money off. It's not affiliate, it just helps you get some money off. I'll leave that linked down below for you. My mascara is Too Faced Better Than Sex. I'm just basically what I wore in yesterday's video because I can't bother to get up and go and get something else because it's just sitting in front of me. And then my lips, which I've been wearing this whole entire video, is the Dose of Colours liquid lipstick in the shade Bear With Me. I've been absolutely loving this shade. It is so beautiful and I just feel like it goes with a lot of nude and neutral warm tone looks. But yeah, this is my completed look using the Honey Lust palette. I really hope you like it. So let's actually sit down and discuss the eyeshadow palette. So firstly, I absolutely love the packaging. I think they've absolutely smashed all of their Christmassy like holiday packaging this year. It's all cohesive and I absolutely love it. Obviously love the colour of it as well. I also love the fact that this is in like a cardboard packaging. I don't know, I just prefer the cardboard packaging to like the plasticky one. In terms of the actual eyeshadow palette, I love the colour story in here. I do think the majority of the shimmers at the bottom, like these greeny ones, the purples, I do feel like they're a bit random in this palette because this is a Honey Lust palette. I don't think of like green shimmer and purple shimmer. So I do love like 90% of the colour story barring those shades. Also, sorry, love the fact that there's a huge mirror in here. Like look how big this is. You could literally take this anywhere with you and do your like full face of makeup. Absolutely love it. The shimmers are a bit mix and match depending on what you use. If you use the foil in here, you're gonna have an absolutely incredible pigmented metallic-y foily shade and it's gonna look stunning. However, the shade that I used, this gold here, it was just so hardly pressed. It was really hard and difficult to use. It wasn't really that pigmented until I literally scraped it with a brush and sprayed it with some like primer water. So it did take a little bit of work to get it to how I have it on my eyes right now. But saying that, it is a really beautiful shade. I feel like it really fits in well with the palette. It's a shame that the formula on that is not the best. I'm not sure if that's the only shimmer that's going to perform like that though, because the shimmer I used on my inner corner and brow bone was absolutely amazing. So maybe I need to have a play around with the other shimmers in the palette as well. The final thing that I have to talk about, and like the best thing about this palette, is that it only retails for £12. Like 12, 1, 2, like that is so affordable considering this has 35 shades in here and it has a mirror. So the price point alone is incredible and I love that they've come out with a really big affordable palette. Like Makeup Obsession have never done these big eyeshadow palettes before, obviously apart from the new Tiffany one as well, but before that collab and this palette they hadn't done the big palettes before, so I'd assume that these big palettes would retail for like £20, but no, this is £12. It's super affordable. If you love your warm tones, your honey looks, you're gonna absolutely love this palette. It is really, really beautiful. It was only the shimmer that I used on my lid that let me down. Apart from that, all the shades I used were super pigmented, super beautiful. So I am gonna recommend this, and especially for the price. I mean, you can't go wrong. Like £12 for a huge eyeshadow palette, that is an absolute bargain. So I definitely think you should check this out. So guys, that pretty much rounds up my thoughts and opinions on the new Makeup Obsession Honey Lust palette. I do have a review coming of the smaller palettes that come out at the same time as Honey Lust, so make sure you stick around for that. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below what you think of this palette. Do you think it's good value? Do you think the shimmer was a bit pants and you're not going to pick it up? Please let me know your opinions down below, and of course if you haven't already, please subscribe and I will see you in my next video. Bye!